Hello, I'm Spitty Biscuit, and this is my submission video for AGDQ 2017 for Crypt the NecroDancer Coda All Zones. This was run a year ago at AGDQ 2016 as a bonus game, and I'd like to think it went over pretty well. So, figured I'd offer it again, this time with a little bit more of a proper submission video. I've also gotten a lot better since then at Coda, considerably more consistent and able to clear runs faster on average. The world record, which I set back last AGDQ of somewhere around 5.5 minutes, has since been obliterated several times over. I believe my current record is about a 3:38, if I'm remembering right. So yeah, below 4 minutes, and it's pretty common to get below 5-minute runs, so yeah, the game and the meta has evolved considerably since AGDQ 2016, and I think showing it off again would certainly not be a bad idea. So anyway, I'm just going to get this video rolling, and we'll get on my way. So, Coda here is kind of meant to be an impossible character. Back when she was added, first put into the game on full release, she was thought to be impossible and utterly unfair. What Coda does is combines several of the challenge characters, in this case Arya, Monk, and Bolt. Arya's the last character in the story mode, and cannot use any weapons other than the base dagger, cannot get any health, so is always stuck in that half heart that you see at the top right. And also is not allowed to miss any beats. She takes damage, unpreventable damage, upon missing a beat or performing an invalid action. That also extends to getting grabbed by those monkeys, like the one that I just killed. So anything that causes you to lose multiplier counts as a misbeat. So monkeys are actually more dangerous than most other enemies, because that means things that prevent damage, like glass armor, will not take effect against monkeys, because they're technically not dealing damage, they're just breaking your multiplier. Anyway, it also combines in Bolt, who runs at double tempo. As you can see, I'm moving on every 8th note of the music instead of every quarter note. And it also combines Monk, who has evolved poverty and cannot collect gold, and if she touches gold, then she dies instantly. So, long story short, pretty much everything is out to kill you in Coda, and everything will kill you in one hit. So, barring having a few specific items. So, need to play nearly perfectly. The biggest thing is you can't ever touch gold, and you have to avoid dropping any beats, which can be a bit of a tall order when you're having to process everything that's going on screen. But yeah, so far this run's pretty solid. Have an early map and a good torch, which is going to help spot enemies from a distance so they don't surprise me. Use the Quake Scroll there for a really easy fight. Normally you have to take out all the pieces one by one, but checking purple there because some of the best items for Coda are in the purple chest. Among them, Ring of Phasing, Ring of Peace, and also magic spells like Fireball or Freeze. I get Ring of War, which is helpful for my current build because I was still my dagger was still only dealing 1 damage, and Ring of War is going to give me 2 damage. The tricky thing about Ring of War is that it causes you to inflict knockback on hit. And with Coda's short-range dagger, you have to be really careful about that, because it's pretty easy if you forget about the knockback to push an enemy away, and then instead of hitting them again, just step forward and walk into their attack. So yeah, you'll see me using the knockback to kind of pin enemies against the wall here and make them a lot easier to deal with. So there's a Shrine of Phasing here, but I have several pieces of equipment that are really strong. I have the map, I have the monocle, which reveals items and is going to let me find the Ring of Phasing outside of a shrine. The Shrine of Phasing grants the Ring of Phasing, which is the ideal ring to have for clearing Coda, as it lets you stand in walls, well, not stand, but move around in walls and avoid dangerous situations. But the shrine also takes away all other items you're currently carrying, so in this case I decided that, considering all of the build I'd already assembled at this point, that it wasn't worth losing. So, Glass Torch that I pick up is a really good find there, because it's going to auto-reveal all enemies on the map, which makes planning a lot easier. There's a Ring of Mana there, which would power up the shield spell I'm holding to a greater shield, but shield spell is actually a pretty weak option for Coda. While it's very strong on pretty much everyone else, it doesn't do much for Coda because the most common ways to die as Coda are generally going to be to gold or to misbeats, and shield does absolutely nothing to protect against that. Shield only protects against direct incoming damage from external sources, so... Monocle really helping out here, letting me see what items are in the chest so I know which one to take. I see that the purple chest is a pretty useless bomb spell, so I'm going to take the black chest for the Boots of Strength instead. Bump my damage up to 3 points. Bombing out the ice under the shop portal there to avoid any tricky situations with ice sliding. Getting glass armor, which will protect me from 1 hit of damage, and right there is that Ring of Phasing I was talking about that I really wanted. So yeah, as you can see now, I'm safe to push through walls, and this actually changes up the kind of game you're playing considerably, because most enemies will stop moving while you're inside walls. So now, there's a lot less difficult combat situations, and it's more about manipulating enemies in order to reach the exit quickly. I check the arena here, find a Wrist Charm, which is really good on Coda. Wrist Charm gives you +2 damage when you are at half a heart, and Coda, since she cannot get more than half a heart, will always have this active. So it's a very strong find. Boosts me up to 4 damage here, which will let me pretty much one-shot every common enemy and 1 or 2 shot every mini-boss. So very good find. Still checking my shops here, not really finding much, but I do want that Heart Transplant because it's a very good find for Death Metal. Death Metal is one of the potential bosses. You're guaranteed to see every boss because there are only 4 bosses, and Coda does not have a story-specific Zone 4 boss. So all 4 of the normal bosses will be in rotation, and Death Metal is the fastest song in the game. So having the Heart Transplant lets you ignore the rhythm aspect of the game and just go at your own pace, which makes this fight a lot easier. Although that said, I do kind of make a little mistake there and break my glass armor. Just grab that freeze scroll there to replace the Heart Transplant I just lost. Being really careful around the gargoyles here, because these gargoyles can still affect you while inside walls. The ones with their closed eyes and the tail will detonate a beat afterwards, which can hit me inside the walls, and the ones with the large wings will push away with a wind spell, and that can also affect you inside walls. So. Right there is an example of the proximity bomb gargoyle. I'm using it there to clear out that heartbeat. So yeah, again, with phasing, it's mostly a game of enemy manipulation. Just using the phasing mechanics to your advantage to get enemies away from the exit and allow you to sneak in. So, Zone 4 is pretty phasing friendly. Generally, the routine you go for is to get the mini-boss off the stairs, kill him by placing bombs in the wall, and then just running into the exit. Take a little time to calculate things out and conclude that the shield spell is a safe option to reach the exit there. And I'm on a King Kongo, which is made trivial by this free scroll I got from the last boss, and that's it. That is Coda All Zones, the supposedly impossible character, beaten in, I believe that was pretty much exactly 7 minutes in-game time. Would probably have cutscenes enabled for Coda just so that the credits play out. Seems more of a fitting end to the time slot than to just have the victory screen come up kind of anticlimactically. But yeah, that's all there is for the run. That's pretty much all I have to say as well. And then again, so yeah, as you can see, I'm considerably lower clear time than 30-minute estimate. 30-minute estimate is there to account for the potential for multiple deaths, which is always there. So, yeah. But I'm very confident I will be able to clear well under those 30 minutes, ideally under 10 minutes if things go well. So, yeah, that's going to be everything. Thanks for watching.